yes, my name's Steve, and we got an unimportant review because I'll be honest, this is the third time I've filmed this thing. Because I did an unboxing, but bad stuff happened. And by bad stuff, I mean I forgot the film after the battery went, so I was unboxing it, and then it's just missing part of the unboxing, so sorry about that one. And then did a review, and then kind of was I'll be honest, I was a little unnecessarily harsh during that video, because I thought one thing was an issue that actually wasn't. And I'm just going to get into it, because anyways, what we got here is the Mezco Godzilla vs. Hedorah set, and then we got the Mezco exclusive that you had to get on the website, the Mothra set. Which, for the packaging, this was the Godzilla, which actually the art on the box is pretty sweet, for ages 15 and up. This shows you everything going on. Mothra, you see the box back there. The only thing with the package is it had this sleeve over top of it. And you can see on the back here too, kind of like what the gimmick is supposed to be showing. And then you get the package in the back here. And I'm actually going to start with the Mothra set, because the one thing, I kind of want to go over the one thing that I had a big issue with. But for the package, you have the little box here. This part lifts up. It kind of shows, it's all cardboard. You also may notice there's a crinkling here. We'll get to that in a second. But it's supposed to represent, like, should be sort of felty in a way to make it look like a real box. And then the front here opens. There's actually a magnet inside of here. I think it's right around here. But you'll see it pretty much shuts itself. And that has the detailing just like it did on the box. It's all flat paper, but gives it the nice illusion of the box anyways. And overall I can get behind it. My only concern is the way it got shipped. The top here got crinkled down quite a bit, which is annoying because with it being a collector box and wanting to be displayed, it would have been nice that maybe if the package would have had a little bit more protection, because literally it was just this shipped in and had the slide over it, and then of course the box with the wrap, but the wrap wasn't really, like, it was almost too well in there, so any kind of pressure on the box is just going to squish this down. So that sucks. What I'm probably going to do is I might actually just get some red felt and put it on the inside of here in order to hide this, so then I can just have it open and display. You won't really notice it. It'll destroy the value of the package, but for me, I don't really plan on selling it, so you got that. Now, with the actual figures here, you'll see that I kind of have the accessories already swapped out, well, partially. So you get the two fairies, which I currently have the folding hands, like they're holding, like praying or singing, is what you have going on there. So she has the open mouth on her, if it ever focuses. And then the other one has the closed mouth. Both the figures are the exact same, nothing different. Even the detailing on the dresses, the shoes, literally everything is the exact same. One thing that's just a personal nitpick, and I've known about this since I was a kid, because with the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, I remember the Splinter figure had the same thing going on, where it has this felt texturing that they put on the figure. And you see it a lot on like Christmas ornaments, stuff like that, like Christmas statues. And personally, like, just touching that, I don't know why, but it kind of makes me sick to my stomach. Like, I just actively don't like it. So it coming in with that, I was just like, oh, that's kind of neat. It looks it kind of makes it look more real to the movie. But now I don't want to touch it. And then one thing I would say that actually is a huge negative is I don't like that when you go to take these off, because the arms are swappable, is that the entire thing is the felt. So over time, if you swap this out too much, you could I could see this rubbing off real easy with it. So that to me seems like it could be a pretty big issue. With it being white plastic, could it have still had that same rub? Yeah, probably. But personally, I think at least on the fairies, I would have liked to have seen it just being, I hate that, being the plastic. I think would have actually been a better touch, especially with how much swapping around you got to do on these things. I put the wrong armor on. Because one thing that when I did when I first did the video, I thought this was like actually a quality control issue. And that's because I've actually had a few issues with these Mezco boxes, and seeing the way the arm was bending unnaturally backwards kind of looked like it was broken. Come to find out, it's actually supposed to look like they're holding hands. That's why it's doing that. So cool. But personally, I'm probably not going to be displaying it like that. But the one reason I wanted to refilm this is because with that being the case, I was a little bit harsher than I should have been. Granted, the box is still a nuisance, and then the felt being the entire thing. Because even on the undersection, if this could have just been plastic, I think it would have been fine. Because I think the average person is going to be displaying them like this, so it hides the seam and it looks more natural. So it would have been hidden anyways. And if you lift it up, if it was a little bit of actual plastic showing there, I feel like it would have been kind of a whatever at that point. But with the girls, you do get actual 5 points for articulation, where the legs can go forward and back, arms go forward and back, and the head can rotate side to side. So you do get 5 points there. Also, you might have seen, but they have the actual display base for each one of them. So it didn't really show, but it has like flowers on the top of the heads too. But very nicely sculpted. And then we have the Mothra here, which I like. Again, I like and I dislike that it has the felt, because it actually kind of makes it look more appropriate for the original movie, because it gives it that actual fluffy look, which I think is neat. And definitely a different take on a lot of Mothras that you've seen. My concern is I don't like it on the legs there. Personally, I think is really my only major gripe with it. I love how they did the eyes. Look really good. The wings, detailing, look nice. They're not overtly bright. They're almost kind of a more brown saturated tone, which again works for the movie. One thing that's kind of weird is it has this flight stand and actually pegs into the top of the figure, which personally I don't mind, because a lot of the time when you have her displayed, you're gonna have your one are kind of like rearing upright anyways. So it's nice that they have a lot of detailing on the undersection, and actually kind of helps to hide the stand, which I think is actually neat. Because I never quite understood why with a lot of flying kaijus, especially like Bandai vinyls, stuff like that, is they usually focus more on the top and not so much on the bottom. But if you ever put things on stands or you hang them from your ceilings or whatnot, you're going to be seeing the bottom for the most part, because it's a flying kaiju. You're going to want to be kind of looking at it from the ground perspective. So I like that they didn't skimp on any of the detailing on the actual figure. And then for its posability, the wings can go up and down. The head can rotate. And I do believe that is about it. Everything else felt pretty stationary messing around with it. One thing I'm still kind of concerned about, and you can almost kind of see it going on here, is the felt possibly raising up because of the articulation. Now that part was actually, I guess that's just like that, because I don't really see any way that could rub. But I could definitely see maybe this part here being an issue at some point. But to be fair, probably won't be playing around with it too much. Be honest, I would say that, and then just it being white felt. This thing getting dusty over time is going to be a nightmare to clean. But I digress. So overall, cool set. Again, kind of wish shipping-wise they would have had a little bit more protectant around the box, or maybe had the box in a box as a way to help keep it from dinging. Could that have helped? Maybe, but I think I would have been a little bit more thrilled about it if it wasn't that case. Especially with it being adult collectible, I would definitely like to see better packaging with those, especially from the actual company. Now, for the Hedorah set, you get Godzilla, Big Hedorah, Flying Hedorah. You get these 4 buildings with the smokestacks, which all look really good. Smoke on the top is actually a gray translucent plastic. Get this one here with the 2 buildings. Well, I guess it matters just 1 building, but just kind of shaped like 2 buildings. Get this one here, again with the smokestacks. And then you get the more factory standard looking building. Nothing too crazy on the detailing, but it works really well just to kind of set up that diorama feeling. You also get the, what I think they reference as like venom poison sacks or something, like 2 poison orbs. One thing that sucks is I don't see any way of actually having these as usable accessories. Like, it almost just looks like malted milk balls in a sense. Because in the movie, Godzilla holds on to them and then holds them in that electric field, and they shrivel up. But you don't really get to do that with this guy. And then there's also just not a good way of having them displayed on your shelf, because they're just sort of like marbles. So they're going to roll around. So, not into those. For the actual Godzilla, he comes with no accessory outside of just for the head. It's different than the Destroy All Monster one, where you have the eye here, which looks damaged. A little bit of like a brownish green paint over top, and then he has the closed mouth. It just looks angry all the time. Dorsal spines could have been maybe painted a little bit better, because to me it's just like, especially with the Godzilla, especially from the previous one, spines just look too dark to me. I will say the nails are painted a little bit better this time around. A couple of imperfections here and there, but nothing too extravagant. Only real detriment I have on mine is I don't know what the heck happened to this arm. It kind of looks like it melted maybe, or it's glue, but there is definitely something going on there that wasn't originally meant to be on this figure, which seems to be a trend with these Mezco guys. I always seems like out of the boxes I get one issue, like one major issue of one of the figures. Oddly enough, the Mothra set was fine. Box was the biggest problem. This one, Godzilla, the Destroy All Monster set, half of them. So you got that going. For the Flying Hedorah, this one I actually really dig. The eyes look really nice, straight, very catching. Top looks good. It's got the very arrowhead shape to it. A lot of nice molded detailing, even with the more fin-esque edges to the kaiju. On the undersection, kind of what looks like a shell. And then get this clear translucent stand that it can sit on. Nothing too crazy. Doesn't really add posability to it. It just kind of floats. But for the most part, it doesn't really need to be doing much more. Then for the Hedorah, which actually is probably one of my more favorite ones I've gotten out of these lines. Where you have the red eyes. Got the black up here, but that's for the accessories. So, doesn't look quite that good, but I think it's more of a necessary evil with the way that they set everything up. But I love the use of the yellows here, especially for the crack around the top. Coming down the front of it, you see the reds and the yellows. Back looks really good with all that added paint job with the bulbous tumor orbs. And it also comes down along the tail, which curls up. Then for the accessories, you get the little electric piece that goes into the eye, which you'll see on the one end, it's kind of shaped like a triangle. That's the one you want to jam into here, like so. So now you shoot his laser. Then the other one gives you the damaged eye. You just line that up, push it on. Now he's got that cracked eye, and the other eye cracked out of its mind. Overall, pretty sweet. So for the articulation, head can rotate side to side, arms can go up and down on this one, legs can rotate side to side. Nothing too crazy. Oh, the tail has motion too. Interesting. This one has 6. They lied to me. It's like between all of them. Mothra's like missing 2. It's only got 3. Hedorah's got 6 of them bad boys. So that's weird. Godzilla, on the other hand, head can rotate side to side. Arms can go up and down. And legs can go forward and back. But nothing really at the tail. So overall, not a bad set. I like the accessories for the most part, except for the marble that's rolling away. And I went on the floor. It's one of those situations where it almost has too many accessories, which I know is odd because we come from a realm of collecting monster arts and such where we're like clamoring for beam effects and stuff. But then we have the Mezcos, which give you almost too many because like the orb's cool, but you can't do anything with it. And to be honest, I think I would just preferred him to come with an extra arm holding onto it instead of just the ball. It's also odd that it comes with 2 extra stands for a guy that can't kick his legs. And then this one, like, you can have him kicking if you want. So if you want to use the display stand in order to get him to look like he's doing karate moves, cool, it came with that. But I would almost have liked to have seen the extra plastic maybe used for something else. Because even like with the Destroy All Monsters, it's kind of in the same vein. Do you really like the flight stand? Yes, that's definitely a must need. But for these guys that have 3 points of contact, almost always on the ground, not so much. Especially since the tail isn't movable. Like I was gonna say you could almost just like maybe even get away without using the stand, but never mind. Oh, there we go. So yeah, use the plastics, give me arms next time. Jeez. Possibly an extra head, because it maybe would have been nice too to have a head that doesn't have the damage on it. But if you would have bought the Destroy All Monster sets, you would have had variety anyways. But maybe not everybody's going to be buying every single set, unlike us, sadly. And for the Mothra set, I also think it's cool. It's just kind of a bummer with the way the box turned out. And then just, for me, with it being the felt, just... like, it's going to go on the shelf, and I'm going to call it a day. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this video. So help us defeat those kaijus by hitting the like button, subscribe, become a ranger today. We also got Instagram, Patreon, Pinterest, Facebook. Guys, like keep up to date with you and donate. We greatly appreciate it. Also, link in the description below for entertainment. Or if you guys like to get yourselves the Hedorah set, which I do. Like, if you like the movie, it's a cool set. And I don't think it's that bad for the price. But the one I remember mentioning and warned with the Mezcos is, do be warned that there is quality control problems with the figures. So take that as a cautious warning. So if you want to get it, link in the description. Also, if you guys would like to get any Godzilla collectibles, again, follow link in the description. Help support the channel and get yourself some cool collectibles. The Mothra set, I still think is also neat too. But again, forewarned. Anyways, see you guys in the next video. Bye-bye.